What up, y'all? This DJ Illmatic back once again, coming at you live and direct, straight from my crib, USA, daily operation, episode 12, here to chop it up with you about all the goings on in the gaming world today. Now, I'm happy to report that I finally got my PlayStation 4 back. Been without it about 2.5 weeks, really 3 when you count the couple of days that it wasn't working properly. It was sent off for service, finally got it back, and so I finally got a chance. I didn't get much of a chance, that's why I'm not going to talk about it this episode, but I will report back to you next episode of Daily Operation. Once I sit down with Bloodborne and with MLB The Show a bit more. But I spent most of my week on my Xbox One, so let's go ahead and get into it. Electric Relaxation, where I talk about the games that I played in the past week. Continue playing through the Halo Master Chief Collection. I finally finished the original Halo and also finished Halo 2 and started playing Halo 3. Absolutely love those games. I'm a big fan of the games already going into it. I'm a big fan of the single player. I've never really been a fan of Halo multiplayer. I'm not knocking it. I'm a Battlefield, Call of Duty guy. I'm not knocking Halo multiplayer. It's just not something I enjoy. But I've always loved the single player aspect of Halo, so I really loved reliving those games. Again, both Halo 1 and Halo 2 hold up very well in terms of mechanics and how they play. It hasn't been that long ago, but it still has been a number of years, and so the gameplay still holds up. These are classics. I think 20, 30 years from now, they'll still hold up as well. Probably the best part of the Halo Master Chief Collection and playing Halo 1 and Halo 2 was the ability to jump back and forth between the updated visuals and audio and the original visuals and audio. And the way they have it set up is if you hit what I call it the back button, I'm not sure the correct term for it, but the back button on the Xbox One controller, it will jump back and forth between the original visuals and the updated visuals, and also the original audio and the updated audio. And I was completely enthralled with that mechanic. In fact, I ended up getting 2 achievements, not meaning to, didn't even know they were there, but you get an achievement if you look at every single level in both those games in the original 4 graphics and the updated graphics. And I ended up getting both those achievements, not going for them. It's just I was so enthralled by this mechanic that every area I went into, as soon as I had taken care of all the enemies, I'm going all around and looking at everything and all the scenery in the old graphics and the new graphics. And so I really loved it. That's why I was kind of a letdown when I got to Halo 3. I guess they just ported Halo 3 and Halo 4 because that mechanic is no longer available. So that was quite disappointing for me just because I loved it so much. They also updated the cutscenes in Halo 1 and Halo 2, CG graphics, and those really added to the playing the game over again. It also helps, I think, playing this series in order, real close together, to kind of, it gives the narrative much more cohesion in terms of the overall story and my enjoyment of the story. Probably my only issue with Halo, the Halo series, is the driving mechanics. I've always despised the driving mechanics in Halo. You get in the Warthog, and this is a Jeep type vehicle with huge off-road tires, and no matter where you drive, it fishtails like you're driving on ice. That drives me completely crazy. It makes sense why the Covenant was able to come to Earth and cause so much damage, because the people on Earth couldn't even make a Jeep that drove like an all-terrain vehicle. Instead, it fishtails everywhere. I just absolutely despise the driving mechanics in Halo, which really, especially the last mission in Halo where you have to drive to your end goal, which drove me crazy. I've never been a fan of the Halo mechanics. If they change anything for Halo 5, I hope and pray they change that. Not to say that they will, but that's my one pet peeve for the series. I've never really cared for the driving mechanics. I also got a chance to play Tower of Guns, which is a downloadable game on both the Xbox One, I believe, and the PlayStation 4. Now, it's free this month on PlayStation Plus, and so that's where I checked it out at, and I actually spent probably about an hour with it. Once I popped in Borderlands, I had to download. I popped in Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, and I had to download a hefty update. And so while that was updating, I spent probably about an hour playing Tower of Guns. After an hour, I can't speak definitively on it. The hour I spent with it, I enjoyed myself. I won't say it's a great game, but considering it's free, especially on PlayStation Plus, I had a decent time with it. If I wasn't so backed up in terms of games I have to play because of being without my system for 2.5 weeks, I might spend a little bit more time with it. It's probably something I'll go back to if I have maybe an hour or so here and there. The visual aesthetic reminds me of Borderlands a bit in terms of the colors and how the worlds look. Basically, you go into this procedurally generated world, which means the levels are different every time you play, and your goal is basically, I believe it's like an endless runner game where there is no end point. You just try to make it as far as you can, and you go into these levels and you have various enemies, also have various secret areas, and you try to defeat all the enemies on the level and to move into the next stage of the level, and eventually you'll face a boss, and then you'll go up the tower to the next level. As you defeat the enemies, they drop power-ups for your gun, health boosts. They also drop different perks that'll upgrade your weapon or upgrade your jumping ability or this, that, and the third. So it changes every time you play it. My only issue with the game so far, and like I said, I only spent an hour with it, is you start off with the choice of only 2 weapons. A pistol, which is completely and totally worthless. In fact, if you choose the pistol, it tells you there in the text, choose another gun. That it's just there for show, I guess. Unless you're a masochist and you love torturing yourself, you're not going to want to play with that gun. The other gun that's available is decent. There's probably maybe 10 guns, I believe, and you unlock the rest as you play more. I've only unlocked one other gun, which I didn't really care for, but for the gun being such an important aspect of this game, to start off with not really a great or even a good gun to get you through it. Now, the guns you may unlock later on may be extremely fun and make you want to play with the game, but I don't know. They'll probably scare a lot of people off with the early guns you have available. People are not going to want to put the time in to unlock the cooler guns, and this will chase people away, which could be a shame because, like I said, I've only spent an hour with it, but I had a good time playing it so far. Now, the next segment of the show we call Buck 'em Down, because this is a segment of the show we buck down the foolishness and the ignorance in the gaming world today. And I figured since I spent so much time with my Xbox One the last couple of weeks now, I have all 3 next-gen systems. I am primarily a PlayStation gamer. I play exclusives on my Xbox One, and so usually when I play my Xbox One so far, I'm usually only playing for a couple days at a time. I've never really spent a long stretch of time with my Xbox One so far, and so spending the last 2.5 weeks with the Xbox One, I figured I wanted to go back and kind of revisit and basically talk about the strengths and weaknesses of each system and what I want to see each of them maybe implement or do a little better. Now, this is not a fanboy competition where I'm going to pick a winner. I love all 3 of my next-gen systems. I do play PlayStation more, but that's not because I necessarily think it's better. PlayStation is my primary gaming console because I enjoy getting trophies a lot more than achievements, and also because looking back at their pedigree or their track record, Sony has a more diverse lineup. I'm not saying they have better games, but in terms of the types of games and the varied experiences, this is more varied than Microsoft usually produces, which I enjoy because I enjoy a wide range of games, and so this is why I've been attracted to PlayStation. But like I said, I love all my consoles. Now, in terms of the Xbox One, the UI is still a little bit more confusing than I'd like it to be, and that's always been my big issue with the Xbox One. And the one thing I love about PlayStation, my PlayStation 4 from day one, the ease of use and navigating the UI has been amazing. I've never been lost or confused or couldn't find anything dealing with my PlayStation 4. Whereas with my Xbox One, especially when it first launched, I felt like I needed to take a night class at my local community college on how to work the thing. And there was always something I wanted to do but couldn't figure out. And to their credit, they have updated a lot of things and they've made it a lot easier to use, but it's still not as easy as you would like it to be. Example I'll use is recording gameplay video. On the PlayStation, I hit the record button 2 times if I want to start recording from that point on. If I want to record the last 15 minutes, I hit it 1 time. Very easy, very simple. I had problems recording on my Xbox One. Now, I thought that you could record 15 minutes, but from what I've seen, and if there's a setting to change it, I can't find it, which goes back to my point. But they only let you record up to 5 minutes at a time, and I was unable to record without keeping the DVR snapped to the side, which bothers me. I'm a screen whore. I bought a 60-inch TV because I want to enjoy all 60 inches I want to enjoy the graphics of the game on all 60 inches, and so I don't like having things snapped while I'm playing, and I was unable to record without keeping that snap. Now, I'm not sure if that was just an issue with the game or maybe there was an issue that day. I don't use it a whole lot, but I did find that to be cumbersome and something I didn't necessarily care for. The one positive I will say about the Xbox One and the recording aspect is I do love how if you say Xbox record that, it records the last 30 seconds and uploads that to your activity feed. I love that feature. Spent a lot of time playing with my partners in NBA 2K, and so anytime we had a big alley-oop or a big dunk or a big block, I really enjoyed saying Xbox record that and letting it go right to the activity feed. And so that was a really good aspect of the Xbox One. Probably my biggest issue with the Xbox One, this is the biggest mistake Microsoft made, and I am furious with whoever made this decision. I will never forgive them for this, and that is I do not understand why someone at Microsoft decided to move the disc to the left side of the case. That is the most infuriating thing I've dealt with in terms of the Xbox One. Ever since I think back to the Sega Genesis. The cartridges were on the right. PlayStation, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. Games always go on the right side of the case. So I have absolutely no clue why Microsoft decided to change it to the left side of the case, but it bothers the heck out of me. I guess, and I can just picture them sitting in the meeting before the Xbox One launched and everyone sitting around talking about all the great things it does and people saying, well, no, it's still not next gen. We still need something. And some idiot says, well, let's move the disc to the left side of the case. Now that's next gen. Like I said, I'm not sure of the thinking behind this, but it drives me crazy. I can't stand it. Every time I open up my Xbox One disc to get one out, I always reach to the right side and end up fingering the instruction booklet or the instruction manual. So the disc should be on the right side. It's not too late to change. Microsoft, that's my only or my biggest issue with your system. Please move the disc back to the right side. In terms of the positives, like I said, I loved Xbox Record that. They've really improved Connect. When I first bought my Xbox at launch, I could not use Connect. Every time I said something, it never heard me. And so it got to the point after saying it 3 or 4 times, I would eventually start cussing out the Xbox One. My wife would come in the room and ask me, why am I acting crazy cussing out an electronic device? It now works. I've been able to use it for all types of things. I love being able to launch a game invitation by just saying Xbox launch that. I love the record that feature. So they've really made a lot of improvements to the Kinect. Party chat sounds a lot better on the Xbox One than the PS4. It's a lot clearer, a lot crisper. Also love how they use the external hard drive. This is one thing I really wish Sony would implement. Now, I reported last time because I had spoke with someone from customer support at Sony who told me that external hard drives were an option, that I could save my games to an external my PS4 games to an external hard drive. So I was thinking about going digital. But doing a little bit more research, I've been told that no, you can just do a one-time save of all your data on the PS4 as a backup, but you can't save individual games, which is not really what I'm looking for. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I have an external hard drive that just came in the mail, so I'm actually going to try it. I hope the information I got is wrong because I really want to use external hard drives. That's the one big thing for Sony. I wish they would implement external hard drives. Of course, improvements to their online infrastructure. I haven't had a whole lot of problems playing games, but downloading patches and updates takes a lot of time. Like I said, I love both of the systems. I'm not trying to choose a winner, pick either or. I'm just, if you only have one, whether it's a PS4 and Xbox One, you're having an amazing time gaming. So I'm not dissing either system. I love both of them. There's just a couple of things I would like to see both of them improve. All right, y'all, that's all the time we got for this week's episode of Daily Operation. Once again, check us out at 8bitchimp.com for all that gaming flavor you savor. Check me out on YouTube, DJ_Illmatic. Subscribe to my channel, like my videos. Also, check me out on Twitch at the same thing, DJ_Illmatic. I'm broadcasting almost daily. And holla at me on Twitter, DJ_Illmatic23, no underscore, no space, all together. Hit me up on one or all of those joints, I'll get back at you. Also, for those that like their podcast in audio form and don't need the video, Daily Operation is now live and in effect on iTunes. So check us out. Look up 8-Bit Chimp on iTunes, and it'll be under 8-Bit Chimp Daily Operation, now coming live and direct every week on iTunes. So if that's how you like to get your podcast, check it out there. Once again, it's been DJ Illmatic, Daily Operation, episode 12. Fat shout to my organized gamers family. We out of here, y'all. 1.